Hey, Will, welcome to New Orleans. Just want to see a little bit about maybe what brought you here and kind of what led to the agreement with the Saints here.
Yeah, man. No, first of all, man, super excited to be here. It's crazy, I got a lot of family down here. My pops is from Biloxi, Mississippi, so I got a lot of extended family down here. So that's pretty cool. Um, it kind of the free agent process. I was just kind of just working out, kind of grinding every day. I let my agent handle everything else, kind of all the logistics of it. But when they reached out and I seen that there was an opportunity to come to New Orleans, man, we had to take it. We had to take it. So I wanted to be around the culture not only of the city of New Orleans, but the culture that they've established, the culture of dominance that they've established around the league. Over the past, couple, over the past, 2 decades. So that that culture in the city, that culture of the team, man, and just there was a lot of crossover. Obviously, we had some guys, from here, on my last team in Detroit. So, when the opportunity came, I had to take it.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the overlap with some of the coaching staff in Detroit. Obviously, working with defensive backs. I mean, working with former defensive backs coach here in New Orleans, Aaron Glenn, over in Detroit. How do you feel that that sort of uniquely prepared you for this opportunity?
Oh, I mean, for sure. I mean, it's crazy because when you talk about kind of establishing and building the culture within the team, that's something that I've always been very involved with, and something that I try to make sure that I'm pulling my weight to do. And so when I came down here, I mean, I got the same feel, um and you can kind of feel it in the air here. You get here, and there's people do things the right way. They do things a certain way, and you have to come in here and you got to work, you got to grind. And so that's who I am to a T. And so I was definitely excited to be able to have this opportunity.
Will, how would you kind of best describe your play strengths and what it is that you bring to the field?
I would say that, I've had the opportunity to be pretty versatile over the last 5 years of my career. Being able to play, safety, nickel, and corner obviously as well. I was I was attracted here, just because they have had a track record of having some other versatile guys who can do a lot of things as well. So I would say that, but kind of getting it back into my groove. Um, just being back in the building, man. Been working on all types of techniques and stuff like that outside of on my own, just training. So I'm happy to be around the guys, happy to be around the team, around the facility, and get back into that grind every day.
Will, it's hard to talk about your game without talking about versatility, right? Back in 2021, you took snaps from all over that Detroit defense. Is that sort of the style of play that you're most comfortable with, and is that the role that you envision for yourself here in New Orleans, or is it more about are you at this point in your career looking for a more specified role?
I mean, I've always said, and I still stand on it to this day, wherever the team needs me to be, I'll be. Wherever they see me at, between those white lines, I'll do it. And that's kind of something that I've always worn with pride ever since college. And so, whatever they need me to do, whatever they need me to do, I'm with it. So I'm definitely looking forward to the opportunity. I've been getting to know the guys over the last uh, you know, day and a half that I've been here. So, it's definitely a progress. But I'm excited to be here, man. And yeah, you can feel the love here. So, I love the atmosphere and how guys go to work over here. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned that atmosphere, and I know you've only been around for about a day and a half, like you mentioned. But what are your early impressions of Marcus Robertson, if you've had enough time to really sit down with him?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I spent a bunch of time with him already. Just trying to get caught up, get hitting the playbook hard, and hitting some technique as well. So I've been really leaning on him a lot. for a lot of that stuff. But, great dude, man, great coach, obviously has an abundance of wisdom, having played for, over 10 years, been in coaching, been in, so he's, been around the game for a long time. And so having guys like that around and having guys like that as a resource for me, is huge, especially, just getting here a couple days ago, man. I can, he probably getting a little annoyed at me hitting his phone all the time, but but he's always willing to send me a text back or to meet up with me or get with me about anything about the defense or anything. So it's been great.
Hey, Will, I'm curious when, you talk about doing whatever it takes for the team, when you see your playing time kind of fluctuate the way it did the last couple of years in Detroit, is there, I don't know necessarily like a mindset you have to have, or like how do you kind of handle maybe a decrease in playing time and you're not seeing the snaps you used to, but still wanting to do whatever it takes to help your teammates and all that?
Right, right. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a competitor, and I don't think many guys, can make it in this league, if you're not. So, I wake up every day and I imagine myself kind of, out there, and I imagine myself, between the white lines, whatever that may be, strapping them up, putting on the pads on Sundays, and going to war with my brothers on Sundays. That's, that's kind of been what my mindset is. I've had opportunities, different, opportunities. There's been different situations kind of every year of my career, but I feel like any opportunity that I've been, that I've had, and, if I'm on the field, like I'm gonna stand up and make my presence felt for sure. So, um, that's what kind of brings it back to, whatever the team needs, whatever it need me to do, I'm all for it. But, with that being said, I'm definitely a competitor, and I do have, all the aspirations and, desires or whatever that, any other, player in this league has. And so, that's where the work comes in. I just got to work every day.
And what do you add kind of from the slot, or how do you feel like you are as a slot corner specifically?
I've got a lot of experience. I was able to get my experience on it, up on that in Detroit. But I've just been able to kind of just learn, especially over the past couple of years, just learn just the intricacies of the position. There's a lot of ways that you have to play things differently than if you were outside, leverage wise, mechanics wise, run fit wise. Not even talking about the pass game, but you're in a lot of times you're in the run fit as well. So there's a lot of things that go into being a slot corner or a slot DB or whatever. So but at the same time, that's what makes it fun. You're heavily involved in most things that the defense is doing, when you're on the field. So that's definitely a great, position to be in. That's a great, position in the field to, just to really make an impact all over the field. So.
Hey, Will, obviously a big change across the NFL with the new kickoff rule. I just want to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah. We're still trying to, well, I know I am at least still trying to study that every day. Because, there's always the rules. The rules is one thing, but, then comes after that is a bunch of, the strategies that, you can kind of foresee coming down the road. That guys, the teams may try to use to, to implement the rules, or so that the rules kind of benefit you as much as possible. So, we're talking about that, in here, just, things to expect, things that we could try to capitalize on, things that, other teams may, try to, how other teams may try to attack you, given the new rules. So, it's, that's still a learning process, and, definitely still studying up on that to this day. So.
And you kind of mentioned this before, but when, being in Detroit as long as you were, when Dan Campbell and them came in, like, did they talk about kind of that New Orleans culture? And could you kind of see the influences maybe that they brought from New Orleans and how they wanted to run Detroit?
Oh yeah, 100%, no doubt. no doubt. That was one of the reasons why, when I got the call from Detroit, man, I was just, man, I was excited, man. I was super excited just because I was like, I already knew, what to expect, and me never having even, you know, visited or anything like that before. Prior to me coming here, you could just, you could see it on TV, like, when we weren't playing, and I would always watch the guys, watch these guys play, man. They play a certain type of way. You could see it, even as a spectator. So, when Dan and AG and all those guys, they came up to Detroit, man, it was like it was night and day, as far as what they expected, more so like just setting the culture and changing the culture and deciding as a team how we're going to play and the purpose for which we're playing. So, I walked through the doors here, felt that immediately, man. There's so many great players that have played here and so many great coaches and, that I've coached here, man. And so, I'm just excited to try to leave, to try to, pull my weight and leave as big of a footprint as I can, and try to, help these guys any chance I get, man, and try to, just do my part.
Hey, Dallin, welcome to New Orleans, man. To kick us off, why don't you just tell us a little bit about the process and what led you here to New Orleans?
Yeah, for sure. Appreciate it. I'm excited to be here. Yeah, it was a fun process, a cool process. I'm just excited to be here, honestly. It seems like a great place. I love the coaches and stuff. So, pumped to be here.
That process is always kind of described as chaotic. Like how long did it take from the end of the draft to signing with the Saints?
Yeah, well, I think, the draft starts, pretty early 10 and ends at like 5. So it's like, 7-hour process. So, you never really know what's going on behind the scenes and stuff. So, that whole time, it's a long process for sure. So it took that, that whole time to learn that I'm a Saint.
How quickly did things go down after the draft was done? Like, did you have a lot of offers to kind of weed through and stuff like that? Or were you just kind of like right there, you knew, okay, I'm going to New Orleans?
Yeah, no, I did. Thank goodness I have an awesome agent. My agent's Bill Johnson, and he helped me out a ton. He just kind of, laid it out for me, and Saints, just looked like, the best fit for me and my family. So, we were super excited about the opportunity.
What attracted you to New Orleans? I mean, obviously we saw they did not draft another tight end, which probably helped, but also maybe the fit in the offense.
Yeah, no, offense, definitely looked, like a fun offense to be in. Just the coaching, getting to know the tight end coaches and everything. It just, seemed like the perfect fit. And, I always wanted to go down to Louisiana and see what it's about. So.
What brought that on? What made you want to always come to Louisiana and see what it's all about?
I always, just wanted to go down south, see what it's like. I lived in Kentucky for a little bit for 5 years, so I always wanted to go down there, and I hear it's amazing food down there, so I'm pumped to get to try some of it.
Dallin, how would you kind of best describe your play style and just kind of point out some of your strengths?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely feel like, I'm a versatile tight end, can line up, on the line, detached, in the backfield, out of receiver in the slot. I feel like that's, that plays to my strength is there's a lot of different things that I'm able to do on the field, and it makes it hard on the defense to, know and game plan in on that.
I don't know if you've noticed or if you've seen it, but you're already drawing a lot of comparisons to another former BYU guy here in Taysom Hill. And how do you like those comparisons outside of the quarterback part, of course, but, in terms of how you can move around on the offense?
Yeah, no, super grateful, growing up here in Utah and playing at BYU for a little bit. Everyone down here knows who Taysom Hill is, so, that's a big deal. Taysom's a great player, and, I'm excited to learn from him and, pick his brain a little bit.
Where would you rank your arm if in terms of quarterbacking, if called upon?
Yeah, I played quarterback till my sophomore year in high school, so I think it's up there. Definitely gotta take the dust off it a little bit, but I for sure think it's at least above a 6.
What do you think the Colorado game last year did for you in terms of just maybe bringing you national attention, or did you kind of feel an effect that it had?
Yeah, for sure. During this process, everyone that was asking me about that game, that was just like, a crazy, fun atmosphere to play in. And I think it was just that, those are the games that you dream about as a kid and the games you want to play in. So, just being on the big stage, you see some people shy away from it and some people rise. So, I thought I'm super thankful for the opportunity and stuff. So it was amazing, super fun game to play in.
What did teams want to know about that game?
They're just asking about it, everything leading up to it, how I felt about it. We watched a lot of film from that game too. So, it seemed like everybody watched that game in the US. So everybody kind of had questions about it.
I know you said it was super fun and stuff, but like, can you appreciate it as it was happening, like going through something like that? Like, what was it like going through it in real time?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to appreciate in time. Like, there's so much going on, and it was such an intense game. The fans were crazy too, so it was awesome. But, you know, whenever you're in that game, you're just so locked in. It's hard to, kind of sit back and realize everything that's happened. But, now that it's gone, definitely wish we would have won the game. But, still a cool experience.
What your production obviously was a lot better in your final season. What, just about opportunity, or was there anything about your own growth and your own game that led to you kind of having that much more productivity in your final year?
Yeah, no, for sure. Every year I'm trying to grow and become a better player, but definitely, at Colorado State, they just, you know, they saw the ability that I had and they trusted in me and let me go out there and, they had some great game plans and just let me do my thing. So definitely opportunity, that was, a big part of it for sure.
You said you referenced being from Utah and everybody knowing Taysom. Have you met him? Do you know him? Has he reached out to you?
I always used to see him around like the BYU facilities and stuff, and I would say hi. I never tried to really, bug him because he'd always get his workout in and stuff. There's always that connection, and he just, I got talked to a few of the tight ends and stuff. He just said, well, pretty much like welcome, and he, glad we get some more BYU guys in there in the room and stuff.
One other comparison I'm curious about is Kyle Juszczyk, because obviously the Saints offense has derived a little bit from San Francisco. How much versatility to be a sort of hybrid fullback, and how much blocking is a part of your game, you say?
Yeah, no, I definitely think it's something that I'm gonna do for sure. It's something I look forward to doing. I've been thinking about that a lot too, and I love Juszczyk and his style of play, and definitely think it's something that I have in my arsenal and can kind of add it to the toolbox and keep going. So I think I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun.
I was reading your bio and it says you are fluent in Spanish. Where did that kind of come about?
Yeah, so I served a mission in Viña del Mar, Chile. So just down there, just learn Spanish in the streets and stuff. So I gotta keep practicing it. But yeah, I am fluent. It takes me a little longer to think about it now, but yeah.
If you don't mind me asking another personal question, obviously your name is pretty unique. Is there like what the meaning or where it came from, or where's Dallin come from?
Yeah, definitely. My parents, liked the name a lot. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, and there's an apostle. His name's Dallin too. So, I think it's a pretty big name out here in Utah. Is Dallin. No one can pronounce it whenever I leave Utah. So thanks for pronouncing it correctly. But yeah, my parents really liked it and then ended up naming me it. So.
And
Hey,
going back, go ahead.
I was gonna ask a little bit about your basketball experience over at Lehigh. How much does that factor into your game?
A ton. I love basketball. My dad played basketball in college, and my brother also played basketball in college. So I grew up, and I was always more of a football guy. I love football, but just the footwork of basketball and everything's so similar. Like it really like always translates over just to different things. Like we're trying to cross someone up, it's like the same as, so when you're trying to beat someone at the line. And so, I think basketball's helped me a ton, and I love the sport too. So.
And going back to that Colorado game, do you feel like you were able to build on that in the weeks to come to kind of, now that the attention was on you, that, yeah, just now that the attention was on you, how did you build upon that afterward?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, one of my best games of the season was like, the game right after that game and stuff. So, I definitely think it opened a lot of eyes to a lot of people and stuff. And, it was fun just, going out there and showing what I can do. I love this game, and, just super grateful for the opportunity. And I'm, grateful for any opportunity I get to play football. So.
Were you surprised that you weren't drafted? I was reading your NFL.com profile and they had a round 6 grade on you. Like, how did last weekend go?
Yeah, a little surprised, but to be honest, like, I woke up and I prayed and I was like, if it's your will, like, I'd love to be drafted and hear my name called, but if not, just help me get to the, perfect fit for me in the right place and stuff. And, I truly feel like, that's what happened, and I can't wait, to get down there and be a Saint and, compete and stuff. So, I was a little surprised. I don't even care anymore, honestly. I get my opportunity and I can't wait to, prove a lot of people wrong.
Yeah, there's like that theory that once you kind of get into that late range anyway, it might be more beneficial to actually kind of pick your situation.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's, something my agent was kind of talking to me about. But yeah, I'm super grateful that I got to pick, and can't wait.
Hey, Dallin, you were voted a team captain your first year at Colorado State. What'd that mean to you?
It means a lot. I love my teammates down there. They're like brothers to me and stuff. So, for them to, vote me as captain, being there for a little bit of time meant a lot to me. And I was, super proud to wear that on my chest, and grateful to be out there leading the team and, being one of the leaders out there. So, it means a lot to me. I, think about that, and yeah, it means a lot.
How much time did you have to make an impression on them before that sort of team vote, came through and you learned that you were a team captain?
So I got there in January, and then we voted in, during fall camp, and so like August,
Mm-hmm.
So I just, that timeline.
Hey, Matt, congratulations. Just, what does it mean for you to sign with the Saints and get this opportunity?
Yeah, thank you. Obviously, means everything. This is a huge opportunity. I'm extremely grateful to be getting a shot at it. This is what I've been working for ever since I started following the sport. So just extremely grateful for the opportunity, and can't wait to get into the building next week.
And you obviously aren't the only Australian punter on this roster. Do you know Lou Headley at all? Or have you guys crossed paths? Or?
I do, yeah. Lou and I are good friends. We get along really well. He's been fantastic already. He reached out to welcome me, and I'm looking forward to working alongside him and getting better. Obviously, just the nature of the NFL, and we both understand that. But he's been fantastic so far.
Matt,
When
how
did you
important was
kind
it
of
to connect with this team, considering its history with undrafted players? I mean, it seems that guys really get a fair shot here, including Lou last year. Seems like guys get a really fair shot here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was a big priority. Just looking to get a really good opportunity to get the best chance to make the team. And the conversations I've had with Coach Rizzi so far have been really good. And that was a big part of the decision for sure.
when did you kind of start getting into swap to American football, and then what has that journey kind of been going through college?
Yeah, so grew up playing Australian football. Was fortunate enough to do that professionally for a few years. I was drafted after high school. When that sort of was coming to an end, I had followed the journey of some other guys coming over here, and had always been a big fan of the NFL and college football. So kind of following their journey, and reached out to Pro Kick Australia, which is sort of the academy that we all come through, and yeah, went from there. Started off at FAU and grad transferred to Vandy, and yeah, now getting an opportunity here.
How did FAU find you?
So that was through Pro Kick. The sort of way that works is they'll reach out and kind of let our coaches there know what they're looking for, and they'll sort of pair us up where we think we might be a good fit. So that was Coach Kiffin at the time, and spent a year there with him, and then a couple of years with Coach Taggart as well.
Matt, if I'm reading here rightly, it says you're the first All-American punter since '96 and the last All-American from Vanderbilt since 2016.
I believe that. Yeah, I think I may have seen something similar. I think that's right.
What was the experience like at Vanderbilt? Just kind of embracing a fan base and just being able to have that experience this last year.
Yeah, no, I absolutely loved my time at Vandy. Yeah, just such a great institution academically, and the team as well. Coach Lee has been fantastic, I think, for my development. Just learning about sort of what it takes to play at a higher level and get the most out of yourself. He's been huge for my development. Same with Coach Lustig and Lee Pack in the special teams room. So and just playing against that higher level of competition in the SEC has been huge for my growth as well. So I definitely don't think I'd be getting this opportunity without making that move as a grad transfer. So very happy with that decision.
Well, hey, sincere congratulations. Just kind of talk about this opportunity that you have with the Saints and how nice it is to just be able to stay kind of close to home.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thanks for being so welcoming. This opportunity is huge. Of course, it's something I've dreamed of as being a kid, and being able to stay close here in New Orleans. I've spent the last 5 years in New Orleans, and really 6. So I was able to visit whenever I was a senior in high school as well, and going a little bit back to my junior year too. So New Orleans is definitely a place that's become special to me, and just it's become my new home. So being able to stay home and continue being here in New Orleans, being here in the city, and to get an opportunity to represent for the city more is everything to me.
Where would you kind of project yourself next level? Like, have you had discussions of where you might go? Is it interior? Do you feel kind of comfortable playing all positions, or kind of where you feel?
Oh, yes, sir. I definitely feel comfortable playing all 3 interior positions. I actually, whenever I started my football career, I started off as a guard way back. Now, I didn't start playing until 6th grade, but I started off as a guard, and I spent my my early years at guard. Got moved to center in high school, and became very comfortable with that position as well. Coming into college here at Tulane, I started my halfway through my freshman season at right guard as well. So definitely comfortable at all 3 interior positions, and but I'm willing to play wherever they need me at. If they want to throw me in as somewhere I've never played before, I'm ready and willing to learn and give my all at any position. So just wherever I fit in, whatever I can do for the team, I'm ready to do it.
Sincere, I know you've probably heard this a billion times, but I still have to ask you, what's the origin of?
Sorry, you cut out. I couldn't hear the rest of your question.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said, I know you've heard this question a billion times, but I have to ask, what's the origin of the name?
So sincere, it's the lifestyle my mom wanted me to live. She wanted me to be a sincere person in every facet of life. Whether it's in anything I do, really, just to be a sincere person, and just the best way to remind me of that and to make sure that happened was to name Be Sincere. And it's been that as far as I've tried, and I hope that that's that's what I give off, and that's what other people perceive of me as well. But it's a lifestyle my mom wanted me to live, and I'm grateful that she named me that, because I love the name Sincere. It's become a big part of who I am.
Just looking at your Tulane bio here, it says your favorite athlete's Tom Brady. What is it about him you like so much?
I love Tom because he's a competitor, and he's willing to do anything for his teammates. He's willing to do anything for win, to continue getting better. I've always admired that. Whenever I first started playing football, like I said, it was just about in 6th grade. I actually played in a little league team called the Pearland Patriots. I'm from Pearland, Texas, so naturally I gravitated towards the Patriots as a younger athlete, and I found Tom Brady and heard a bit about his story and his underdog mentality, and just the lengths he went through to become the athlete that he was and the person that he is today. So just the competitive nature that he exuberates, and just the amount of work and willingness he's willing to put in, and the amount of sacrifice he's willing to put in for his career and what he does. And I would love to simulate that, as well as the into being an athlete, to being the best you can be, to being the best you can be for your team as well. Something that's very important to me, and he's been a role model in that sense for as long as I can remember now.
And what made you take up the sport in 6th grade?
So I was, I moved around a good bit before, settling down in Pearland. Actually, before moving to Pearland, I played a little bit of baseball and basketball, nothing too serious. I was, younger. But one of my best friends, he actually ended up coming here to Tulane. He's at Tulane right now. But his dad, him and his dad reached out to me. His dad was actually coach for that team, and we would play just, at, our free time during recess and stuff. We would always play football, and I was a little bit of a bigger kid. And my buddy Spencer, he was telling me, he's like, you're a little too big to just be like playing for fun. I mean, you should actually, get into it and actually, try it out. And I did, and fell in love with it from the day I stepped on the field. And, I haven't looked back from there. So it's been that.
At what point did you think that a professional career was something that you could attain? And then, how did that process happen after the draft?
Yeah, so, like I said, I fell in love with it from the second I stepped on the field, and, started paying more attention to professional football. And from then on out, it's been a goal of mine to make it to the stage and to be able to, accomplish that. It's been a dream of mine. And, making it here to now, it's just been a blessing. It's everything I've done, all the work that I've put in, and all the people who've been around to help me as well, to just be able to, work and work and work and work towards this goal. And it's become part of who I am. It's become a big piece of who I am. So, I'm really grateful to be here right now and to be in this position right now.
Since you're being at Tulane, you saw Dorian and Tajay go last year, Michael Pratt and Jaquan this year, and just you've been there for several years. But just try to talk a little bit about kind of where they've been for years, and obviously you were team captain, so kind of talk about the leadership too.
Yes, sir. So, whenever I got there, funny enough, a bunch of my friends in high school, they asked me why Tulane, and we weren't at the time before I'd gotten there, hadn't been the best team, and hadn't had a great turnout record wise. Being from Houston, there's a large amount of U of H fans, and everybody asked me why I wouldn't go to U of H, but I visited Tulane and I fell in love with it. And so from that moment on, it was Tulane, it was Roll Wave. And getting here, the culture was something that we built over time. And even my first 2 years there was still something that was shaky. And, the guys you mentioned, Dorian, Pratt, Nick Anderson, and we were able to, blessed enough for our teammates to see us as leaders and see us as captains and elect us as captains. And, Coach Fritsch trusted us to really take the team into our hands and develop a player-led team, and really included us on a lot of things. And like, for example, that before that 2022 season, we were able to sit in on calls with, offensive coordinator candidates or strength coach candidates, and, give Coach Fritz input as, kind of the voice of the team, to be able to really, help take the team in the direction that we thought we needed to go and we wanted to go. And so, from then on out, we really just took responsibility and the accountability aspect of things, and making sure that not only were our teammates holding us accountable, but we were able to hold them accountable as well, and just really to build a culture and brotherhood there. And we were able to accomplish that, and it's been a great time, and it was something I'll never forget, and I wouldn't trade it in for the world.
Hey Kyle, first off, congratulations, man. I'm just curious a little bit about your journey and what brought you to Slippery Rock, because I see that you are. I mean, I looked at some of the all-time leaders there, and your name is up there on a lot. So, what brought you there, and how important is it to see your name on lists like that?
Right. Slippery Rock was my first offer when I was coming out of high school. I was attending a camp there for a receiver. And I mean, I was playing quarterback during my time in high school. So when I was attending camps, I wanted to try out receiver and see if that was something that I could do. As soon as I got there and kind of met the coaches, and they told me about the culture and the family setting that they had there, and just the winning culture they have, it immediately drew me there. And then I met some of the teammates, and I had a former high school teammate that was playing there too, Henry Litwin, who eventually had a chance with the Chicago Bears, and he's the record holder for everything there. But it really wasn't something I kept up on during my time. It was more so after everything was done, it was something I'd taken a look at, and my parents had talked to me about it, and just the pride they had for me to be able to accomplish some of the goals that I'd set out for my career.
That's awesome. How do you feel that experience at quarterback has been of value to you as a wideout?
It definitely lets you, kind of have a feel for when the ball is going to come, and helps you read coverages a little bit more. I'm not going to, sit here and say when I was in high school that I was, dialing in on coverages, and, I had a lot of ideas of what the defense was doing back then. But, that was something I picked up on when we would sit down with our quarterbacks coach and our offensive coordinator, and just the relationship with our quarterback, Braden Long. They had really sat me down and helped me understand a lot more than I had when I was in high school playing quarterback.
Now, what was the season like for you this year? Were you hearing a lot of scouts, at the practices? When did the Saints come into play here for yourself?
Right. I was getting attention throughout the season. We had a couple guys up here that, they were coming and taking a look at. But the Saints, when I was talking to my agent, they came into play a little bit after my pro day. So it was a little later. I don't think that they were one of the teams that had come visit me up here at Slippery Rock. But, after the pro day that I was very, very thankful to get into, since we don't hold our own, they were there in attendance, and they said they had liked what I had done out there, and I'm super excited they gave me the opportunity to be here. So, I can't thank them enough.
How many options did you have to choose from in those minutes after the draft?
I don't know exactly. I know that was something my agent had really kept up on. The Saints were the first ones to give me a call. And I was super, super excited to get that call from them and from my agent, and, just express the interest they had in me and the interest we had in them as well.
One of the things that is a need for them that they're seeking, and obviously there's multiple candidates for it, though, is that more big physical contested catch receiver. I mean, is that something you recognize the opportunity for how you could fit?
Yes, sir. 100%. That receiver room is really good. They have Olave and Shaheed, and they brought in Cedric Wilson, and it's just a really talented room. And I'm excited to have a chance, step in there and, build my way up to possibly get an opportunity to, showcase that I could play that role if needed.
Is your size, the strength, receiver, the working in traffic, that kind of thing, using your body and your physicality?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's definitely a style that I play, especially up here when we were at Slippery Rock. It was a lot of jump balls. There was a lot of red zone things, and just being able to keep the defender on your back and make plays, whether it's back shoulder, over the top. So I'm excited. I'm really excited to see how it translates.
Did your basketball experience from high school kind of help you out in that area?
I think it did. I think it helped just
jumping and change of direction and just the smaller things that you don't think of. I do really think it translated. I'm not going to sit here and say I was a great basketball player, but I'm excited to, I was able to learn some things that I could translate to the football field.
What position did you play when you were playing basketball?
I kind of did all of it. I mean, I would bring the ball up. I'd play down low, but I mean, I was never really strong in anything. I was probably average at making layups and things like that. So,
Kyle, whenever you see, 6'4", 220 in that range, they think the obvious question is, is tight end a possibility? Has anyone brought that up throughout the process of maybe, seeing what you could do at tight end or maybe converting a little in that way?
I was hearing a little bit about it, not so much anymore. I do imagine that I could possibly, get time in the slot to create some sort of mismatch on whether that's a nickels or linebackers or anything like that. But as far as it comes for tight end, I haven't heard too much. I expect to, have some rules blocking inside the box, whether that's motioning inside and getting in there or just blocking on the perimeter as well. But I haven't heard as much as, the beginning of the process.
How comfortable are you in that blocking area of the game, especially with the Saints looking at that wide zone offense might be important?
Yeah, it's comfortable. Like I said, I'm excited to learn. We did a lot of blocking up here as a physical group that we had at Slippery Rock and receiver room is something we preached a lot. It's just really just caring for your teammates, and it's a big effort thing. So we were preaching that my entire 4 years here. So I'm excited to get there and learn more and learn how they teach and just where we should put our hands and just the physicality of it.
Kyle, when you think about your time at Conneaut under Coach Gold, what does it mean now to be at this point here and getting an opportunity to realize your football dreams at the highest level?
It means everything. Obviously, coming from the small town, a lot of people know what's going on, and I'm extremely blessed to have that support system behind me. And Coach Gold was actually one of the first people I called afterwards just to, break the news to him and thank him for everything he's done for me and get me to this point. He was always in touch with me throughout my Slippery Rock career. So I felt like he was one of the first people that I should call and, let him know. And he was almost more excited than I was. We were on the phone for probably 20 minutes just talking about, my high school days and then what's ahead of me. So he was stoked. He definitely instilled some very great ideas into me and how to approach, football and life itself.
Kyle, were you a little bit? Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. That's fine.
When you were deployed, when you were out on the field out there, were you running more routes from the slot or out wide while you're at Slippery Rock?
The majority of it was outside, but we would do work where I was in the slot and we would bring a tight end outside, or we'd go 12 personnel and kind of put me on the inside on the right and then our other outside receiver as the Z on that side also. So I had a little bit of both, but the majority was outside.
Do you feel like you'd be comfortable playing a big slot role or something like that if asked at the next level?
Yeah, I do. I really believe I do. I would like to learn more about how to run those slot routes and the different. It's a different route tree when you can get inside than you are outside. So I'm excited to expand my role.
Kyle, congratulations. First, I just wanted to ask, how helpful was it, beneficial was it to have a guy like Henry who you could relate to, have those conversations with, a guy not only from the Rock, but from Conneaut as well, to see this is possible? How beneficial was it to have a guy like that? And what were the conversations, even leading up to the draft and the free agency period here, like?
Henry played a humongous role just in my career before this had all taken place. I remember when I was in high school, just looking up to the plays that he would make and, hoping at one point I'd be able to get to that chance to have the ability to make plays as well. And watching him, have a successful career at the Rock. And he actually took me in immediately. That summer I graduated from high school. I was staying at his apartment and we were doing our summer workouts. So we had a very close relationship all the way up until he graduated. And just watching him get the chance with the Bears, and he really pushed me like he would be texting me throughout these past 2 years, just like, hey, like you have a chance to do this as well. So, you know, if you put your head down, like let's make it happen, let's make it two. And I mean, the COVID, especially that time period, we had our season canceled. We were out at the cash field, just running stairs and just trying to make each other better every day. So he's played a humongous role, and he's texted me throughout the process too, especially the day of the draft, and just asking what was going on and what I'm hearing, and where he thinks would be a good fit, and just things like that. So he's been a humongous help to me.
Just what does it mean knowing that you've got kids in District 10, Northwest Pennsylvania, and Crawford County that can look up to you, and you can be one of these guys that gives them that chance to say, hey, this is possible, this is realistic, it's a dream that really can happen. What's that mean to you?
That's the biggest thing for me. Obviously, I play football because I have a love and a passion for it, but being able to have a pedestal to stand on and give kids a dream that they can also pursue and chase and know that it's possible. That's huge for me. Like, I mean, I have cousins and nephews and nieces even that are just like, trying in every sport they have to, reach the highest level that they can get to. And to see somebody in their family or just someone from the small town be able to reach it, I think it really gives a lot of people hope. And I'm extremely, extremely thankful to be on this pedestal and, just provide a good role model and example for the kids around this area.
Hey, Jermaine, first of all, congratulations. I wanted to ask if you were aware of the track record of undrafted free agent wide receivers coming to New Orleans as particularly guys that specialize in return ability and all that, and how that might have factored into your decision.
Yeah, I definitely was aware that, all the great returners that came through before me, like Deontay Hardy and Rasheed Shaheed. That kind of played a part in Darren Rizzi. I know he does a great job with the special teams. So we had a great meeting and top 30 visit, and I feel I liked his vibe and I liked his personality. I know he could set me up to be successful for sure.
Jermaine, do you feel like it enhances your opportunities even more with the new kickoff rules where people are pretty much going to have two returners back there?
Yeah, most definitely. I think it's a great opportunity for a returner aspect, to get more opportunities back there and, take advantage of those, just take advantage of an extra play on the field, This rule is definitely a huge thing for returners, and I'm happy that it's wanted to play.
And what do you feel you can add to the receiver room? Because there's two fairly established guys with Chris Olave and Rasheed Shaheed. Beyond them, there's a little bit of uncertainty, even though there's some veteran guys who have been signed to the room, but there's not as much certainty as there are with the top two guys.
Yeah, I feel like I could definitely be helping the offensive room. I feel like I did a great job being a deep threat at my school at Idaho. Definitely beating defenders downfield, try to catch those deep over the shoulder balls, and that's been my thing, and double moves and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see where they can implement me in the offense and how they can use me for sure.
What is your history, receiver versus return specialist? Have you always gravitated toward being a return specialist, or that's something that they found along the way in high school or college?
Yeah, I've been a return specialist since I remember. It's always been I had a thing for it forever, and I always took pride in special teams, and I feel like it's an opportunity to make another big play. So why not take advantage of it? And I honestly, when I first started, I was a DB when I was younger. Actually, I started as a DB, worked my way into it as a running back, played a little quarterback when I was younger as well. But I was mainly a running back in high school. We ran a wing T offense. Got to my junior college, and I started opening my receiver game up a little bit more. I was a receiver in high school. Like when I went to camps and stuff, I played receiver, but I really was a receiver when I got to my junior college, and when I got to my 4 year at Idaho, I really became a true receiver.
Jermaine, why the early shift away from defensive back? Was it just that you just wanted the ball in your hands, or you liked the action, or what?
Yeah, I always wanted the ball. I feel like the game is better with the ball in my hand. I feel like I like being with the ball in my hand, so I enjoyed having the ball and scoring touchdowns. I like points.
Jermaine,
hey, Jermaine, how much did it mean to you to be voted a team captain in your final year there at Idaho?
Man, it was a great accomplishment, man. Shout out to my teammates, man. They believed in me. They trusted my leadership skills. I'm forever grateful for those guys. It was a player voted
captain thing. So I appreciate them for sure, for believing in me to lead them into a great season we had this year.
Yeah, Jermaine, for a lot of people who haven't done it, it kind of feels like being a return specialist is kind of like being willing to run into oncoming traffic. You know, and so what is your kind of philosophy, and what makes a good returner? Like, what mindset do you have to have when you're back there to be successful at that?
Yeah, from a kickoff return perspective, I always seen kickoff returners like running through fire, man. You just gotta, once you get through the fire, you good. But you gotta I just always thought about like just running through fire, hit the hole fast as you can. Really not gonna be a lot of holes in this next level, but you find a crease and hit it as fast as you can. And punt return, I always my main thing was focus on the ball, catch the ball, square it up, and you know, make the first guy miss and see what happens next.
What stigmas have you had to sort of face and overcome with your height? Did that affect recruiting? Did that affect how anyone coached you or had a vision for you, or the path has always been pretty clear?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it definitely affected me a little bit with recruiting and coming out of high school and stuff. Was typically why I really went the junior college route. And you know, I always took it as I always tried to use my height as an advantage. You know, try to be as elusive and as quick as possible, and you just use it as my advantage. You know, and not just use it as a disadvantage, but as an advantage. And you know, I feel like I've been doing a pretty good job at it. You know, my speed. And just, you know, being a deep threat I was at Idaho at receiver. So yeah, I think I'd use it as my advantage for sure.
You know, locally we're familiar with Deontay Hardy, obviously a smaller guy who has success. What other players would you say you watched or you kind of modeled your game after at the NFL level?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys are familiar with DeAndre Carter. He's my guy. He's kind of like a mentor for me. But yeah, Deontay Hardy, I get a lot of people compare me to him for sure. But I kind of model my game a little bit after DeAndre Carter as well too.
You took a lot of you've taken a lot of snaps in the slot throughout your collegiate time and everything like that. How do you feel that the sort of, well, first of all, that's a position that has kind of expanded over the course of the last decade or so. But how do you enjoy the responsibilities of playing sort of in that area?
Yeah, the slot is a fun position to play in. You know, you get a lot of space in there. You know, you get a lot of opportunities in the slot for sure. And I've been trying to I took advantage of my opportunities in the slot for sure. You know, you get a matchup with a safety, or you get a matchup with a linebacker and just extort it as best as you could. But I feel like the biggest thing that I improved on as far as being in the slot, you know, is my blocking. You know, you have to block those. You have to come out and get those backers, dig them out, and that's been a big thing for me. So yeah, definitely, the position definitely has been evolving, and you know, I've been taking advantage of it for sure.
And of course, as a returner, there's always that phrase on the offensive side, right? He becomes a returner with the ball in his hands. But how about you know, yards after catch ability over on the offensive side and being able to kind of make that happen in more condensed spaces?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a little step up at this next level with making guys miss and getting yards after catch. But yeah, that was a huge part of my game, and definitely want to see how much I can improve in that aspect of the game.
How did you get to know DeAndre Carter?
So yeah, he was really good friends with my trainer. His Giles. His name is Giles, and then he actually was coaching at the time. He was coaching my 7-on-7 team when I was a sophomore in high school, and I just became really close with him, man. We traveled all the way. We like went to all our 7-on-7 trips together. Like I rolled with DeAndre. He just became my mentor, and just became my my guy. So you know, he's from out here towards this way, so he's a good dude, and I well respected for sure. I got much respect for him.
Hey Shane, welcome to New Orleans. Just to get us started here, what is it that attracted you to the organization and brought you to sign?
Yeah, you know, I grew up watching. I know 2010, I watched the Super Bowl. You know, I've always wanted to come out to New Orleans and visit the state of Louisiana and stuff. So I feel like it was a really good fit, and I'm excited to get going here.
Did you realize that your last name was going to be perfect for this organization?
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. You know, I'm French Canadian, but you know, it fits. So.
Hey, I know that when you were at Oregon, they ran a lot of the zone offense in the blocking scheme and things like that. Do you feel like that's something that you're excited to kind of reprise here in New Orleans?
Yeah, you know, I think with my time at the Giants in the past, I don't want to speak on that, but I saw a multitude of different schemes and stuff, and especially going back to my Oregon days, we ran a lot of, zone, outside zone, inside zone, power, gap schemes, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like I have some history with that, and I'm excited to get back to that.
Hey, Shane, I know last year was probably a little frustrating, but I'm assuming the biceps is good to go, and just how tough was it overcoming that?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it wasn't good, but it was tough coming back from that. I'm healthy now. I've worked my butt off, and I'm ready to get going here. And I'm not trying not to speak or think about the past. I'm just worried about today and just getting better and getting situated here in New Orleans.
What would you kind of say that you bring to the table, or what would fans want to know about you as an individual?
Yeah, I'm a smart player. I'm a tough player. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help the room, help the team, and do everything I can to win.
I know it's only been a couple of days for you, a couple of days, maybe a day, but just your early impressions of John Benton, the new offensive line coach. What would you say about sort of his style?
Yeah, I met with him at the combine coming out my rookie year, and we had great meetings then. I really like his coaching philosophy so far, and I think I'm going to learn. We're going to learn a lot from him. He's a really smart guy schematically, and I like his techniques. It's different from what I'm used to, but I enjoy it so far, and I'm just ready to learn. Every day I'm learning something new.
Did that meeting that y'all had at the combine, did that impact a little bit, your decision to sign here this year, knowing that he was here?
Yeah, yeah. I looked at the fit. Obviously we had, a good report back in the combine. I really liked his teaching. And I know some players, some of my friends who played on the 49ers with him in 2020. So I've heard really great things about him, and excited to get to work with him.
Shane, were you teammates with Juwan at Oregon in 2019?
Yes, I was. Yeah, he
Okay.
was a wide receiver back then. Yeah, that was my
Yeah,
senior year.
What's your favorite Juwan memory, and just how cool is it to be able to reunite kind of with him?
Yeah, that was one of the first guys I saw when I came into the building, so I was excited to see him. My favorite memory's got to be the Rose Bowl. He basically won that game for us. He iced the game at the end to win the game, and yeah, it was great. It was great seeing him. I'm happy to be reunited with him.
Hey, Justin, welcome to New Orleans, man. I want to start with what brought you here and what helped to make the decision.
I mean, if I'm being completely honest, they brought me in for a workout, and I think it was a no-brainer. I think it's a great. I mean, New Orleans is a great place to be, and I love everything that they're doing down here. So I think this was a no-brainer to come here and be a part of this great organization.
Justin, where do you kind of feel like you project best? Like, what position do you feel most comfortable, or you just kind of, well, I'll play wherever they want?
Yeah, I'm the type of player. I was like, I'll play wherever they want me to play, and whatever the team needs me to do. I'm not here to be like, I need to play. I play this position only. No, I play whatever position they need me to do.
Hey, Justin, when you say that it was a no-brainer, and then you mentioned joining the organization, what is the reputation of this organization, or what is it about the reputation of this organization that made it a no-brainer for you?
I mean, the rich history that's involved with this organization. I mean, and just the mentality of New Orleans Saints. I mean, ever since I was a kid and just watching Drew Brees, watching LaCharles Bentley play as a center, and just watch the mentality. It was always a physical mentality, and it was something that I've always enjoyed, and that's how I kind of what's it called? Model my game, is try to be as physical as possible, and that's one of the big things why I really loved about the Saints is just like hard-nosed football.
And you were teammates with Derek there in 2022. Just kind of talk about just maybe what he was like and such, and just how excited you are to kind of reunite with him.
Derek is a great individual, a great leader, a great quarterback at that. I mean, I'm watching them ever since I was in high school and in college. It's awesome to be back with him, and it's always funny as whenever you go to a new team and like you see a familiar face, but it was really, really refreshing to see Derek here, and something like I know someone that's from from the Raiders organization, he's here, and let alone be Derek Carr. I think it's great.
With the Saints sort of implementing a new offense, they're kind of going to this wide zone offense and everything this offseason. How do you feel your skill set fits within that scheme?
I feel I try to model my game as just like being adaptable to any offense that I'm put in. So if the wide zone offenses and outside zone offenses, that's what we're going to do, then I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to make sure I fit into that offense. And wherever I was before, prior to this, whether it was in New England or with the Raiders, just like I adapt to whatever offense I'm put in.
Would you say that this type of offense does demand something a little bit different than what maybe a typical offense or maybe a more man-focused run scheme would demand?
I think every offense is unique, and every offense has its own list of demands. I think, I don't think that any offense demands more than another offense. They just demand different things. So, so with this, it's just, I think it's just like for the type of offense that we're going to run, it's just like there are certain things that need to get done, and that's just what it is.
I know it's still fresh for you, but have you gotten any opportunity to chop it up with John Benton at all? The new offensive line coach?
Yeah. We Shane and I have met him for the last 2 days. We've been in meetings, and he's a great coach, has a lot of knowledge of the game. Just sitting there and just listening to him talk in meetings and stuff, you know that he has a lot of knowledge. And his coaching record speaks for itself. He's coached several great players. Several Hall of Famers at that as well. So to be in the room with him, I think to have him coach me, I think it's great.
Any other questions for Justin?
Yeah, just one more. Justin, what would you say that you bring to the New Orleans Saints organization?
I think what I bring is smart, tough, and a dependable football player. I think that's what I bring to the organization. That's what I bring to the offensive line.
Thank you.
Hey, man, congratulations on joining New Orleans. Just kind of lead us through or walk us through what led you to choosing New Orleans, and kind of maybe did you guys meet before the draft process at all?
Yes, we met before the draft process on my pro day. But like the process has been pretty great. I chose New Orleans Saints because I feel like it's the best fit. Definitely a great fan base and great culture.
Trajan, what was your day like on Saturday? Obviously, you probably expected to get drafted, and then when you got the call from the Saints, can you share with us?
Definitely hard, but I just keep moving forward. Definitely work hard. After all the years of my life, I just learned to persevere. So just thought of just keep going, perseverance. And I'm just happy for the opportunity.
What would you kind of say that in your own words that you best bring to the table? And if we were to put a label or just kind of say what your best attributes are?
Definitely a physical player, high motor. And I'm just ready to show it. I don't really like talking about a lot of things. I like to just show it in actions, but you can definitely put it as a physical player, high motor.
Hey, Trajan, I know you had that extra year of eligibility and everything. What was it that kind of led to you, that kind of made you gravitate towards transferring over to Arkansas in particular?
Just definitely just felt like I just need a change. I'm just glad for using my last year just to continue my studies and just going to a new place. So I'm very, very happy for that opportunity I got at University of Arkansas. And
was it? Oh, go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, I was finished. You can go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. All right, dope. Sorry about that. Was it like part of the plan for you to kind of stay in the SEC as well? Like, was level of competition something you were paying attention to with that transfer opportunity?
Yes, I definitely wanted to stay in the SEC because the SEC is known to be one of the best conferences, the best conference, and I just wanted to stay in it.
This team always talks a lot about iron sharpens iron and everything like that. You know, you talked about that importance of staying in the SEC. What about learning from a guy like Cam Jordan and the opportunity that that potentially presents to you?
Oh, definitely learning from him will be a tremendous opportunity for me. I'm a great listener. I pay attention to everything, and just learning from him, a very skilled, versatile player in the NFL that's very elite. Definitely learning from him will be great. Will be great for me. So I'm truly blessed with the opportunity that God gave me.
Is there anything that you already see in his game that you feel like could translate well to yours, or maybe that pinpoints a place where you're looking to take the next step?
Oh, definitely. I've watched Cam Jordan. He's very strong at the point of attack. Looks very loose. Knows how to pass rush. Carry his weight well as well. Definitely just learning from him because going to the NFL from college, still got a lot to learn, a lot to process, and definitely learning from him will help my game tremendously. So I'm just humble for the experience.
What are you expecting then as you take, next level to the NFL, rookie camp, mini camp, OTAs, and that? Have you reached out to anybody who's been in the NFL, what to expect?
Yeah, I definitely reached out to friends that's currently in the NFL. Definitely telling me it's a continuation of hard work. Got to stay ready, be ready, stay healthy, and yeah.
Do we have anything else for Trajan?
Yeah, sorry, I got one more. I just couldn't find my mute button. I apologize. Trajan, when you're talking about those opportunities to grow and develop and things like that, what are some of the elements of your game that you're looking to develop at the next level?
Definitely, I would say all around because it's definitely always room for improvement. I feel like, which is a very motivating mindset. So I just think all around, I want to get better as an all around player, and just be the best I can be.
Would you consider yourself a little bit more polished in one area, like as a pass rusher versus run defense, or maybe the other way around coming in?
I won't really say polished until I'm at the elite level of the NFL. I would say right now I can't say really polished, but I definitely working to be polished. So I'm trying to see myself in the NFL and the things that God blessed me, the talents to showcase. Definitely, I'm trying to get polished in the NFL. That's one thing I would definitely say because it's always room for improvement. I feel like for everybody. So I won't really say polished right now because I still got a lot to learn.
Millard, welcome to New Orleans. Just to start us off, what was it that drew you to the Saints, and did you have any other teams that you were considering in undrafted free agency?
First of all, I love the city of New Orleans. I'm a Louisiana native, so Saints has always been like a part of my life and relevant to me. And on the draft process, pretty much my agent kind of listed out some teams where we want to go if it came down to this, and New Orleans is one of them that reach out to me from there. I'm trying to make it home.
That's great. Is there anything in particular about maybe the defensive sort of play style or anything like that that you felt drawn to as well?
Yes, sir. I feel like the culture the defense has always had. I feel like the Saints, with the defense for one playing at the 4-3, I feel like I have a lot of versatility within the defense, and growing up, I looked up to Tyrann Mathieu as a safety, and I'll be excited to get to watch him and like be along him, learning from him and things like that, competing. So I'm looking forward to.
When you say you kind of grew up on the Saints, what's your earliest recollection, I guess, of the Saints or players or seasons?
I'm not sure if it was a Super Bowl or if it was just a regular playoff game. But the season where I think it was Green Bay that was playing, and they had like this big comeback. It's like a 30-17 at halftime, and they came back and won or something like that. But kind of like some of the core memories of the Saints for me. And just like how my family, I got a lot of family that's diehard Saints fans, so it's relevant around me.
Millard, how would you best describe like your play style and just kind of what you're hoping to showcase over the next several weeks?
I like to believe that I play real hard on the field. Wherever the ball is, I was always taught to, be wherever the ball, and that's how I kind of like to describe my game. And when I play, whether it's pass, run, I'm either making the play or close to making the play.
You got a nickname. Is it Nook or Nuke?
Nook.
Nook. Where's that come from?
Since I was like a little child, it was passed on with me, I guess. There's like a little baby brand that was called Nook, and yeah, it just stuck with me.
So you kept that around for a while? Is it like
Yeah.
mostly a family nickname that kind of made its way out the home, or how'd that work out?
It was like a family nickname that made its way out the home.
That's cool.
Have you ever had any interactions with Tyrann Mathieu?
Not personally, no, sir. I haven't, but I have like close family members, like cousins, that's had like subtle interactions with him, and like that's also been like fans of him and things like that. So
You get to reunite with Kendra. Have you already talked to him and kind of just what that's feeling like for you?
no, sir. I haven't really got to touch bases with Kendra, but I'm pretty sure we will, when I get there and things like that.
You excited to kind of be back around him? Like, what was y'all's relationship at TCU?
We're pretty good friends. He's a great character. I like competing against him on the field. He got me better as a safety, I feel like. So being able to compete, with him and against him again, something I'm looking forward to.
Before getting to college, did you have any other sports that you played outside of football, or was it always football for you?
No, sir. I actually ran track in high school, and I played a little bit of basketball, but that was for a year. I didn't really try to do too much in basketball, but track is something that I did along with football.
I know speed is a big part of your brand, like kind of speed and range on the field. How did maybe the track experience kind of help you out with that?
Track most definitely helped out my game. I've been really running track all my life along with football, so that was something that was always like relevant to me. Also, I was competing in, and I guess the speed I have now is I can thank track for it to be able to have range and cover the field like I do.
Hey, Kyle,
what's happening, Kyle?
What's going on, everyone? How are you?
Great, man.
We're good, man.
Great. So, want to start with you, Kyle, just a little bit on the process here for you. How early were you in contact with the New Orleans Saints over the course of the draft process, and kind of how this all came together for you?
Yeah, my agent was in contact with them. It was awesome. They were an early team, to contact me. I got to work out for them at BC's Pro Day, which was awesome. It was a great event, and it's been a great process to this point, and I'm super, super excited to get going.
Kyle, how would you kind of best describe your strengths and where you kind of fit in on the offensive line?
Yeah, some of my strengths would be preparedness. I prepare the right way. I'm the ultimate team player. I love my teammates. I enjoy going to work every day with them. I enjoy preparing with the coaching staff, being able to do what's best for the team. And where do I see myself fit? Anywhere the coaches kind of need me to play. I'm a guy that's always been team first. I prepare the right way. I'm focused. I got a great work ethic. I love, working with my teammates every day, and wherever the team needs me, I'll play.
With the growing popularity of the wide zone offense across the NFL and the New Orleans Saints kind of next in line on that, how comfortable are you with that scheme and that fit for you?
Yeah, it's awesome. So, my offensive line coach at Boston College my last year, he actually was the offensive line coach for the Miami Dolphins. So he worked with Mike McDaniels on 2 years ago. So he brought over a lot of the same schemes that, we'll be running here at New Orleans. So, and also I got to play for Coach Rob Chudzinski. He was the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. And they kind of implemented that, wide zone offense. And I've played in it, before in North Dakota. We did something similar. But at Boston College, we really refined it. And it was truly what the Dolphins ran in 2022.
It's been awesome to have that kind of experience. What would you say is kind of if there was maybe a pinnacle quality for an offensive lineman fitting into that scheme, what would that quality be?
Yeah, it's athleticism. It's able to, understand combination blocks, tempo of the linebacker at the second level. Ultimately, though, it comes down to trust, right? Like that's a huge thing that my offensive line coach talked about to me. I've played for some really good coaches. I played for Jim Turner, who was also the Dolphins offensive line coach, a little earlier than Coach Applebaum was, but a lot of the things come down to trust. Like, can that coach trust you to put you on the field? And, that's what I'm going to try doing, is earning the trust of Coach Benton, earning the trust of the staff, and, being the ultimate team player.
What was the experience?
Have you had any conversation with Jari Evans?
No, I have not. I actually saw him at the Shrine Bowl, though. I was on the opposite team of him. I was on the East squad, but I got to meet him in the at the Shrine Bowl, so it was really cool. I'm super excited to be in a room with him. Like, what an honor that is. He's a legend, right? And learn from him and pick his brain every day is something that I can't wait to do. I was lucky enough here at BC. Chris Snee was our analyst, so it's a great situation. Work with the guys that have done it, right? And it's something that's super. I think that it's there's no value that you can place on something like that, right? Like working with somebody that has done it at the highest level and done it at such a extremely high level that you can be in a room with them and just be able to pick their brain every day.
What are some of the first things you may want to inquire about when you get a chance to really sit down and talk with Jari?
Yeah, how he did it at such a high level for so long. Like, that's the best thing, right? You can, really get from someone like that. Like, something that, let them stay in that league for so long. Like, what can you give to me, right? I think that is so, so cool that he's played so many different years in the NFL and at such a high level. I want to learn how he did that. Like, what are some tips and what are some secrets of the trade? That's what I'm looking forward to talking about.
Growing up in Toronto, can you talk about your journey, how you ended up in North Dakota, Texas State, Boston College?
Yeah, so I grew up, born and raised in Toronto, Canada. I was actually committed to New Mexico Military Institute out of high school, so I played in a prep school called Football North. They produce some really good NCAA players, but you go play Friday Night Lights in America, so you get on the bus Thursday night, we play Friday night, and then you get home Saturday morning. So yeah, I was committed to New Mexico Military. I ended up not going there. I got a late offer from North Dakota. It was a 65% scholarship. I got to North Dakota. I didn't even have a locker. I had a hook and a metal chair on the side of someone else's locker. I redshirted my first year. The next year, I was the newcomer of the year in the conference. And then I moved, COVID happens the spring season. We only had 5 or 6 games. Then I transferred to Texas State. I play for Coach Turner and Coach Spavital. I really gelled with them in the portal. I think that it was an awesome move for me. I wanted to, challenge myself because the whole time I knew that no one believed that I could play in the NFL, and that's something I really, really wanted to do. And I always knew that I had it in me to do that. And what was the next step? It was transferring up, playing better competition. I spent 2 years there. I was an all-conference players both years, started every game. And then I challenged myself one more time. I get to move up to the Power 5 rankings, play ACC competition. Boston College was my next stop, and I did what I had to do. And at every level, I've exceeded expectations. And I think it's just something that I'm going to continue to do. And I'm looking forward to it doing with the Saints.
Growing up in Toronto, I'm just curious, did you ever play hockey?
No, I never really did. You play with your buddies around town, but I never really did. I grew up in like a single parent household, so hockey is really expensive, and we couldn't afford doing it. So yeah, I never played hockey. It was just football.
Hey, Kyle, what was it kind of like, obviously signing on with the Saints, and then the CFL has their draft and you get drafted 3rd overall from Saskatchewan? What was that kind of like for you?
Kind of cool, I'm an entity in both leagues now. No, it's awesome. I'm super privileged to have opportunity there too. But right now I'm focused completely and 100% on this opportunity with the Saints and making this team. The CFL is awesome. There's great fans. Saskatchewan has the best fans. I can't wait if I have the opportunity, go down there. But right now it's 100% focused on the New Orleans Saints and making that community proud.
Hey, Kyle, I know you received the Snee Family Football Scholarship. I think Chris Lindstrom, if I remember correctly, also got that coming out of BC. How important was that to you to kind of get that sort of academic and athletic sort of recognition?
Yeah, it's super important. Being a BC guy, a lot of the time school is overlooked, and also, football alongside of that. I had the privilege to, receive my master's degree in less than a year at Boston College. I was super excited to do that. It's something that's going to carry a long way without even football. Obviously, football is the priority, but yeah, Chris Snee, he's the man. He was a mentor of mine when I was at BC. His family gave me a scholarship. It was something super special to me, and something no one can take away anymore. And it's to be on a name like Chris Lindstrom, like that's pretty cool too.
That's awesome. And then your master's was it sports administration?
Yes, sir. Sports administration from the Woods College.
That's awesome. You just talked about kind of, your preparation being like one of those kind of calling cards for you. You think those study habits kind of helped you out there?
Yeah, it's tough to get a master's degree, let alone at Boston College. So yeah, preparation, it carries over in life, right? That's the most exciting thing about football. There's so many different things that you can take from it, and it's life lessons. And people might say you might last here in the league, you might last this many years, but like that's life goals, and that's something that will prepare you for not only football but for life.
What's your history of the different positions you've played and gotten the most experience at?
Yeah, so I have 44 starts at right guard, at all 2 levels of football. So I played right guard for North Dakota and then Texas State. And then my last year I played left guard for BC, but I've always been the swing guy. So at every school I've been at, I've been cross-trained to play center. I think that it's invaluable, and I knew at some point it's going to pay off. And, at this point it's going to pay off, right? I've always played center. And then I go to the East-West Shrine Bowl, and I exclusively played center. I only played center. So, yeah, I've played all 3 inside spots.
You played in any games at center, or you were just prepared to if needed?
I think a couple games this year, our starting center went down, and I just bumped inside. But it's a seamless transition to me. I've done it, for 6 years now. So, I'm prepared to exclusively play center. prepared to do both. I'm prepared to be the swing guy. I'm prepared to play right guard, left guard, anything that the team needs.
How does the experience at center benefit you when you're playing the other offensive line positions?
Yeah, it's really the inside three and, the tackles, they all see the same thing through the center's eyes. So if you learn how to play center, you know how to play all spots on the offensive line. I'm a guy that likes to have control of, the huddle. And I think that it's awesome from a leadership standpoint to, be the center and making the calls and, understanding how to see the calls and the procedure through the center's eyes. Once you learn how to do that, everything opens up to you as a football player and holistically in the offense.
Was it your versatility on the offensive line, some of the attributes the New Orleans Saints liked about you?
Yeah, for sure. Being able to play all three inside spots, it's invaluable, right? It's awesome. And I'm not a guy that's going to complain. I just want to play football. I love the game so much. I just want an opportunity. It's kind of the same feeling. It's a very, very familiar feeling from how my career started and kind of has gone, UDFA, kind of like back against the wall. But, it's a very familiar feeling for me. And, I just am so excited and I can't tell you how much this opportunity means to me. And I'm going to make the most of it.
What about your family? How does your mom and your brother feel about being down in New Orleans?
Oh, it's awesome. They're so excited. One of the cities my mom's never been is New Orleans. I've been though before. I went to Sunbelt Media Day in 22, and it's the headquarters of the Sunbelt is down in New Orleans. So, I got to go to Oceana's. I got to go to Drago's. I love the food down there. I was only there 2 days, but it's such a great city, and I'm super excited to get back. And my mom's super excited to come down too.
Do we have any other questions?
I do have one last one. Do you feel like you are better in the passing game, blocking for running, or are you one of those road graders, or how do you describe your style?
Yeah, my style is going to be an intelligent style. I'm going to play football in an intelligent way. I'm going to prepare the right way. And I think that, either pass or run, whatever we have to do and whatever we have to execute is going to be what I'm going to be able to do best at.
All right. Good luck. You have a cool
Thank
name,
you very much.
man. Kyle.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Isaiah, welcome to New Orleans, man. Why don't you just start by telling us a little bit about what it is that brought you to the Saints and got the deal done?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, we had a handful of teams just reach out as far as to my agent and everything. And, we did a good job before the draft. We had a top three, top teams that we would like to go to in whatever scenario. And, we were able to work out a deal with the Saints. And, this is where I chose I wanted to be, man. And I'm just super fired up and excited to be here. So.
It's awesome. Accurate to interpret from that the Saints were in that top three?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Cool. Do you see yourself at the next level more at, safety or linebacker? I've seen you listed as both, depending upon, what site you're looking at and all those things.
Yeah. No, I feel comfortable being able to play both. I feel like I'm a player that can play both and be utilized in different positions. So, whatever coaching staff asks me, I'm going to do it because, I just want to play ball and just keep showing people that I belong and, a great resource for a team as far as playing multiple positions and special teams as well. So.
What was that transition like going from safety to linebacker? Was it something that you just had to learn a little bit more in coverage? Was it run support, or what was that like?
Yeah, I definitely say, for me, it was pretty smooth because I was already a physical safety. And so I had no problem being in the box whatsoever, but definitely learning more run fits and, just a scheme of the D-line and, a couple different fits. Other than that, it was pretty natural. When we played in the national championship in that FCS spring season, that week leading up to it, they told me they're going to use me at Sam. So basically learned all their stuff in a week and rotated at that. And then, after that, got moved to Sam linebacker. And then, I've been used as safety as well in the slot as dime nickel. So, it was a very easy transaction because I also had that knowledge of what the DBs were doing behind me. So, I just, trust that they're doing their job, know where they're supposed to be, just continue to develop myself. So,
I know it's early on in your process, but did the Saints give you any indication of what their vision is for you and which position you might fill in?
yeah. So right now, I just believe I'll be playing linebacker. But again, whatever they want me to do, I'll go out there and do it. So.
How would you kind of best describe your game and highlight some of your strengths?
Yeah, I'd say one of my strengths is just my speed, physicality, and I'd probably say just how I go about the game. I feel like I play the right way, communicate with my teammates, run the ball, be in the right spot. And, I feel like as a linebacker, I bring those coverage skills, that a secondary guy would have, and be able to run with any tight ends, running backs, and even receivers at times. I'm confident in my ability to do that. So.
When you get an opportunity to join a team like this that leans in on versatility and everything like that, and kind of talking to you about playing safety and playing linebacker, or at least having the experience at safety, what does it mean to walk onto a roster where if you play linebacker, you learn from Demario Davis, if you play safety, you learn from Tyrann Mathieu? Like, how important is that opportunity for you?
Oh, it means everything, man. Because as far as me transitioning positions, I feel like even when I wasn't at this level, I was always watching guys like Mario, Fred Warner. But then, I've been watching Honey Badger since he's been at LSU and watching different safeties as well. So, that's going to be a great resource for me to learn from those guys and, have them help me develop my game and be able to pick their brains and learn from some of the greats, man. It's very special and a great opportunity. So, I'm just going to soak it all in and, just go out there and give it my best.
Isaiah, you kind of mentioned special teams, and that was one of the things that you kind of did at Nebraska too. But just kind of talk about, I mean, I know you're familiar with probably the new NFL rule about special teams, but how important is that to kind of get your feet wet and such?
No, I mean, that's very important because, that's how I started my career. So I'm always going to have that chip in my shoulder. I don't know if y'all know, but I started as a walk-on at Nebraska, and that was my path to the field. And, I just kept climbing and climbing. So essentially, coming in for me as a UDFA, I'm doing the same thing. And, I have no problem with that. To me, I love special teams, man, because that's just, another way I'm out there on the field, being able to do what I love. So, and, the new rules will be good too, because it'll be more of a tight end, linebacker, guys on the field. So I think that's what kind of teams are also looking for as well, that are able to do that, and then also fill in wherever needed in the linebacker core. So.
Hi. We got to ask who's little man.
Yeah, this is my son Kendrick.
Okay,
bud.
Good. Go watch a movie.
How you like being a dad?
It's awesome, man. Definitely. For me, I didn't grow up with my dad most of my life, so I always wanted to be a dad, and I've always loved this game of football. I do it for my family. Be able to change their lives, my lives, and then ever since I had my son, I got someone that depends on me every day. Just be that dad that I didn't have. And it's awesome, different type of love that you can't really explain. So I love it.
That's awesome, man. Can you tell us a little bit about, I think it was 2021, you were awarded the Effort Award in the season opener. What tell us a little bit more about the Effort Award and kind of what that meant, what that might mean to you.
Yeah, the Effort Award is just, every aspect of the game, running the ball, finishing, being on par with our coverage and our defense. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. And that's obviously a great thing to earn, because that's what you strive for on defense. So, that's all we ask for at the end of the day is effort. Even if you're not always right, just giving effort, running the ball, finishing, trying to punch the ball and things of that nature. So that was pretty special too, because that was my first game, linebacker, and I think, we beat Colorado State, so that was a pretty cool moment as well for us.
I know it's early for you in your process here with the Saints, but have you gotten the opportunity yet to speak with Michael Hodges, the Saints linebacker coach?
Yeah, yep, I have. It's been very good to talk to so far, and just excited to work with him. One of the great minds in the NFL. Thought you guys almost lost him in the offseason, so it's good to able to retain him as a coach, and again, being able to use him as a resource and pick his brain for anything and everything. So yeah, I'm excited for that.
Hey Rico, congratulations, man. We know you were on the top 30 visit list. Is that kind of when all this started coming together for you? And what was it that made you choose the New Orleans Saints here?
Yes, sir. I would say so. My visit with the Saints went really well, and I like the team. I like the coaches, and just the team in general is a winning organization. I remember telling everybody after my visit that I feel like it was a really good fit, and I just enjoyed it.
How best would you just kind of describe your play style and maybe highlight some of the strengths you bring to the field?
Yes, sir. I would describe myself as kind of a long, rangy corner. Press man is what I played a lot of in college, and I just pride myself on being a technician. And just as far as with the team, I feel like I can help on defense, on special teams, or really just wherever the team needs me.
Hey, Rico, what does it mean for you to be able to represent the Pitt State football program at the next level?
It means a lot. Pittsburgh State is a great school. I had a great team. I love all my coaches, my teammates, teachers who've helped me out, and just the school in general was a great place for me. I learned a lot, and just proud to represent the Gorillas.
How much pre-draft interest did you have? Did you visit with like a lot of teams, or what kind of was that process like?
So I visited with the Saints, of course, on top, and also the New England Patriots. I had a lot of interest, just after pro day, putting up good numbers. And my agent and I talked to quite a few teams, but more so than anything, I'm happy to end up with New Orleans because that's where I wanted to be, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity.
Rico, you talked about the winning culture being a part of why the Saints were kind of a good fit for you, and press man coverage and everything as well. Your experience with that at Pittsburgh State is kind of what about beyond the press man coverage side of it all? What about the Saints defense is attractive to you as a scheme that you feel like you can fit in?
Well, obviously the Saints, I like the fact that they send a lot of pressure, play a lot of man coverage. But on top of that, the Saints have a lot of good players who I've looked up to, like Tyrann Mathieu, Marshawn Lattimore, Alontae Taylor. That's just to name a few players who I like, and I just can't wait to be around those guys, feed off their energy, and just become a sponge, learn as much as possible, and just showcase my ability as well.
When it comes to where you feel like you fit best with this team, do you see yourself sort of more so as an outside corner, moving into the slot, any of those things, or are you kind of comfortable with the versatility of that?
I would say I'm comfortable with the versatility of that. I feel like I can play inside or outside, and I just want to be wherever the team needs me to be.
Were you asked to do more of one or the other over at Pittsburgh State?
At Pittsburgh State, I play mostly outside, but I play inside as well. My coaches and I studied a lot of film together, and they did a good job of teaching me both positions.
What were some of the things you had to, what were kind of some of the harder adjustments that you had to make when you were kind of learning that, right? Moving from outside to inside, it's kind of a different game.
Yeah, it's kind of a different game. Obviously, when you play in the slot, you're a lot more involved in the run game, and sometimes you have to fit in the box or know how to come off blitzes, the right blitz path, whether you're a contained player, whether you're a hammer player, you know. So it wasn't too big of an adjustment for me.
I got to ask you about the gear you're wearing right now. Saints sent you a care package, or you got online and went shopping immediately? It looks good.
Yes, sir. This was gifted from a coach of mine, so just wanted to rock the Saints gear.
Well, after you signed, he came up with that quick.
Yep.
Rico, did you play any other positions or any other sports and everything? Maybe high school or anything like that as well?
Yes, sir. So in high school, I ran track and played basketball as well. Even in middle school and freshman year of high school, I wrestled as well. So just growing up, I played a lot of sports, even playing just soccer outside with friends or every other sport in the book. Just like to be outside and being involved around sports all my life.
Rico, what about special teams, return game or kick coverage? Is that something you've had experience out at Pittsburgh State?
Yes, sir. So I have experience playing special teams as well, whether that's gunner, whether that's the corner, on punt return, even playing kickoff as a freshman at Pitt State. I have a lot of experience, and we had a good special teams coach here as well. So I tried to pay attention as much as possible, knowing that at this level, special teams is a way to earn a way on that 53-man roster and just make the team better altogether.
Rico, have you talked to Dallas Flowers lately? And if so, did he give you any advice?
Yes, sir. So I talked to Dallas after I was drafted, and he just told me that he was proud of me, and we just said, let's do it. That's what we always tell each other. Let's do it. I told him one day I'll meet him here, and now we're here together. So excited to get this opportunity, blessed, and just look forward to everything.
What was last Saturday like?
Last Saturday was good. I was really just with my family. During the time when I got the call, I was with my mom and my nephew, and we celebrated together. And afterwards, I hung out with some friends and just enjoyed the moment. Took a chance to thank God and just soaked it all in.
What do your family think about you coming down to the Big Easy?
They're really excited for me. I told them after my visit that I liked it a lot. I actually told them before the draft and everything that I wanted to go somewhere warm. So I guess I got my wish.
Maybe too warm.
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe sometime. But I'd rather be warm than cold. That's just the type of person I am.
Do you like seafood, or do you like the culture here in New Orleans?
Yeah, so I like seafood. I actually haven't got the chance to just eat a ton of it, but I look forward to getting down there and trying a lot of new restaurants. I heard the food there's really good. That's one of the first things I keep hearing when people congratulate me.
Yeah, we do all right with the food down here.
Yeah.
That phone call, was that a phone call with your agent, or was that a phone call like with somebody from the Saints organization?
There was a phone call with my agent. I let him take care of those things and just wanted to spend time with my family and just be in the moment.
That's great. Have you had any contact with the coaching staff already?
Yes, sir.
Have you gotten a chance to speak with Marcus Robertson yet, the DB's coach?
Yes, sir, I have.
What was your initial impression of him?
He's a great coach, very knowledgeable, very respectable, and a great leader. So I look forward to working with him.
When will you go to New Orleans?
So, we started rookie minicamp on May 10th, so I'll be down there shortly before then.
What do you think some of the challenges are being a D2 guy in the NFL right now? What as you prepare for camp, what do you think is going to be your biggest challenge?
Well, I feel just for any college football player, there's going to be an adjustment to the next level. Obviously, now you're playing against the best players in the world. The speed of the game will be a lot faster, but ultimately for me, I don't plan to change up anything that I'm doing, change up my game at all. Just trust who I am as a player, and like I said, be a sponge, take in as much knowledge as possible, and just be the best player I can be for my team and for my coaches. Relentless effort, and just be somebody that they can count on.
And growing up in St. Louis, were you a Rams fan? Who was your team as a kid?
Yes, sir. So, I mean, initially growing up, I guess I was a Rams fan, and then I was actually a Chargers fan as well. I know when I was younger, when the Rams had Kurt Warner, the New Orleans Saints used to actually be a big rivalry game. So it's kind of funny to watch everything come full circle like this.
Rico, who's someone you modeled your game after?
I would say I don't particularly just model my game after one player. I like a lot of NFL corners, and I like certain things that they do. So I just try to take pieces of the best and just take pieces of their game and try to add it to my bag. But like I mentioned earlier, even players on the New Orleans Saints, they have a lot of great DBs, and I look forward to learning from them as well.
Hey, Nathan, congratulations, man, and welcome to New Orleans, first of all.
Appreciate it.
When you do get here. How early was your kind of contact with the New Orleans Saints during your draft process here?
So basically, my agent handled all of that, but I didn't really hear much from them until they, blessed me with an opportunity to, go show up for their team. So that's really my agent was taking care of most of the communications. But
are you aware of how many other offers you had in addition to New Orleans, and just kind of what led you to choosing New Orleans here?
So really the process was it was slow for me, but at the end of the day, I knew I was going to get my shot because I trusted in Chris. I trusted my ability on the field, Chris as in my agent. But yeah, it was really just whoever my agent just felt, because my agent's my brother agent, so he knows me very well, and I feel like he knows where I fit best, and really he was taking care of all the business side of things.
Nathan, how would you best describe your playing style and kind of where your strengths are?
I say I'm a very versatile player, and in my past 3 years at OSU, we've had 3 defensive coordinators, and I'm actually grateful to be able to play in a 4-down and a 3-down, because I found a lot of weaknesses I had in a 3-down that I would have never seen in a 4-down. But I say my play style is, I'm high motor. I'm running around. I'm always by the ball at the end of the play. My best, asset is probably my pass rush. I'm very confident in my pass rush, no matter where I am on the field. But I feel like I excel at my pass rush really in that 3-tech. But, I like the 5-tech. I'm excited to get better at that 5-tech pass rush. I feel like my run stop is, is good. As long as I get that playbook down, I can focus in on, beating the guy in front of me while, not worrying about, really just, getting the playbook down. Once I get that down, everything is, I feel like I'm an all-around football player.
Cameron Jordan consistently talks every now and then about, being a 5-tech when he started in the NFL and stuff like that. Is he somebody who, you've watched before, somebody you're excited to learn from?
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm very excited to learn from these guys, because I've been watching him for a while. I would watch his tape it'd be during the week of practice, or, if I need to get something down, I would look up, film on him, or, even Chase Young. Like I would look on film on these guys. Like Chase is my age, but, he got a lot of stuff down and a lot of experience that I didn't get. So I like learning from others, but also dialing in on my own game, understanding that, I'm a dog myself and I can get it done, but I can always learn more from others. And you can never not learn enough, what I'm saying, especially with football. Definitely excited though.
It's good. Have you gotten an opportunity to, speak with any of the Saints coaching staff so far? It sounds like you got at least an idea that they want to start with you at at 5 Tech. I mean, what do you think about this defense and its style?
So I love this defense. You know, I've watched it here and there, but I won't lie, I'm not like, you know, zoned in on. I'm zoned in on it now for sure. And what I've seen is I fit very well with their defense. You know, put me anywhere on the field and I'm executing. You know, I'm excited to learn, you know, a lot because I feel like it's no shots fired, but at the end of the day, I feel like, you know, I'm a very non-developed player. Like I play well right now, but I feel like, you know, I can see my potential and I'm not even close to it. And I feel like the Saints, you know, are going to do a good job developing me, you know what I'm saying? And I'm excited with the everyday process of getting better. And, you know, I just know I haven't even close to reach my peak yet. And I'm excited to do so.
You know, Saints kind of deploy their pass rush in a variety of different ways. You know, hand in the dirt, two stance, you know, 2-point stance, all those things. Or do you feel more comfortable in one or the other, or you know, where do you kind of feel like you fit into the sort of different ways that they might deploy that?
I feel like I do best hand down. You know, hand in the dirt. You know, I can get off the ball quick. You know, I'm not the type to overthink about nothing. You know, I'm just go. Like I'm getting off the ball and I'm getting past you no matter what. But at the end of the day, if I need to stand up like on the 5, I've done so before. And I feel like it helps me with the ball count, you know what I'm saying, watching the ball. But really just, you know, it's really just throughout the season last year, I would work on cues of what the offensive lineman would do, like guards or tackles. And I would work on, you know, what they would do to let me know pre-snap when that's, you know, when that ball is getting snapped. So that would really help me with my hand down. But, you know, if I'm in a two stance, you know, I'm getting off the ball when that ball moves. Like I'm comfortable with either, but really I prefer hand down.
What was your brother's reaction to the news? And obviously he was drafted last year and such, but like, what has it been like for him and talking with him and your relationship there?
It's been ecstatic, you know, prayers answered. You know, he was almost happier than me. You know, he was not worried, but you know, his anxiety is almost like my anxiety. Like, you know, if I'm anxious and I'm just ready to go every day, months before the draft, you know, I'm calling him every day. You know, he's helping me stay locked in. I'm helping him stay locked in. So he's feeling the anxiety just like me. And when I got that call, you know, it was you know, it was words can't describe it. You know, it's just the biggest blessing. Like just the journey I've been on, like just being where I'm at right now, like I got a lot of work to do, but just getting this opportunity just shows like anything's possible. You know, like fighting through any adversity, you just keep getting up and really anything's possible. Like I can go on for days about that because it's definitely the biggest blessing. And my whole family felt it. Like we were all on the same vibe, same frequency of feeling. Like it was a huge day for me.
Hey, Jacob, congratulations, man. First of all, how's it feel to stick around in Louisiana?
Thank you, man. It feels great. It's a dream come true.
Is this you know, when you play over at Lafayette, you've got you're here from Louisiana. Was New Orleans, were the Saints somebody that was like firmly on the list for you post draft here?
Definitely at the top of the list. You know, growing up, the Saints, you know, being from Baton Rouge, that's my, you know, favorite team. So that's definitely where I wanted to play.
That's cool. Did you have a lot of offers that contended with them, or how'd that kind of shake up for you?
I let my agent handle most of that, but I believe I had a few.
Hey, Jacob, how best would you kind of describe your run style and the way you play?
I definitely try to be a balanced back with my size. Most people would think I'll be like a downhill punishing back, but I definitely take pride in being versatile. I played receiver throughout my career too, so pass catching and running routes is something I definitely take pride in.
Levi Lewis said that you were a really, really good route runner out of the backfield. Is that something you're excited to kind of show a little bit more of at the next level?
Definitely. Just because of the system here, I wasn't able to showcase that, but I definitely played. You know, when I was at A&M, I played receiver, and also my first year here, I played receiver as well. So, I definitely, you know, look to show that.
How was that transition going from wide receiver to running back when you made that switch?
Honestly, it's natural. Because I went to a small private school, you know,
we at a small private school, you play all positions, honestly. So I've been doing it my whole life, so it was a natural, smooth transition.
Jacob, I saw.
Jacob, maybe talk about, coming out of high school, Louisiana, how you enjoyed playing at Louisiana and how you ended up at Louisiana.
In high school, it was, high school ball is, it's fun. It's you're out there with your boys grinding and, just making memories. And so I definitely loved my high school experience. And then how I got here was just I felt like it was time for me to leave A&M, and I ended up transferring to URW just because the NCAA transfer rules weren't what they are now, and so you couldn't transfer somewhere and play right away. So I had to go down, and then COVID happened and canceled our season. Then I enrolled here, spring of 21, and I enjoyed my time here. I definitely grew a lot as a man and as a person, and definitely as a player. So I enjoy my time here.
Jacob, were you teammates with both Kellen and Eric McCoy, or was it just Derek?
Both. It was both. So
okay.
I definitely look forward to seeing those guys.
Good. I was gonna say if you had any conversations with them.
I haven't yet, but when I get there, I'm definitely gonna tap in with those guys.
You were talking about your transition. We were talking about your transition from a wide receiver to running back and like your pass catching ability out of the backfield. Obviously, elephant in the room. There's the guy Alvin Kamara in New Orleans that's got a very similar game. Is he somebody that you've watched, paid attention to, molded your game after a little bit? Like what's kind of the influence there?
Of course, me being a Saints fan, Alvin Kamara is definitely doing his thing. The versatility is definitely something that sticks out when watching him. He has, he's Alvin Kamara for a reason. He's a household name for a reason. So definitely, I definitely study his game.
Is there anything in particular when it comes to the transition to the NFL that you're looking forward to maybe taking, next steps in certain areas of your game, anything like that, anything you're focusing on this offseason before you or as you kind of work to land a spot?
Definitely, just everything in general. I feel like every part of my game can improve, but I'm definitely trying to lock in and hone in on pass protection.
And what was your pre-draft process like? Like, were you in touch with New Orleans? Were you in touch with other teams throughout the draft process?
I did. I had a nice conversation with New Orleans at my pro day. My draft process it was smooth. I was in Dallas training. I was able to get into the Shrine Bowl, and it was a smooth process.
How were your conversations with the Saints? Were they kind of in-depth conversations, just kind of passing conversations? Like, how'd those go?
I think we had both. One of the main things at pro day that we talked about was my versatility, because I actually ran routes as a receiver and running back out the backfield. So the versatility was a big thing.
Were they part of the focusing on pass protection? Did they give you that? Kind of say, hey, this is maybe one thing that we'd be looking for at the next level or anything like that? Or is that something you just kind of look at on your own and say, hey, that's an area where I can improve?
That's something that I look at on my own and be like, this is the area where I can get better at.
Nice.
Jake, what specific things you feel that you can bring to the Saints?
Maturity in the running back room for sure. I think I'm gonna be a hard worker. Somebody who definitely goes in and do the right thing. Somebody who loves the game. I'm a football junkie. Versatility, somebody who loves the team. Like I'm always a fan. I grew up a fan before, I even signed to the Saints. So the fact that I'm here, man, they're gonna get 100% out of me.
How would you define that classification of football junkie for yourself?
It might be unhealthy, man. I live it, I breathe it. I wake up watching it, I go to sleep watching it. that is my life. You know what I mean? So this is what I love to do.
You think you might have I know the NFL focus is the focus right now, but is post NFL, is coaching something that might be of interest to you with that kind of football junkiness you got going on?
It could be, but definitely the focus right now is making this team and trying to leave an impact on this team in some kind of way.
Hey, Kyler, welcome to New Orleans, man. Why don't you just kind of talk about how this opportunity came up, why the Saints, and maybe what the pre-draft process was like talking with them?
Yeah, so thank you for having me. So very, very grateful to be on the Saints. It's a great opportunity to be here. And throughout the whole process, at my Senior Bowl at the CGS, they first contacted me. And then really my agent really handled most of the other stuff, like talking to them on a consistent basis, and really glad that I am a Saint now. Very happy about it.
What would you kind of say is your strengths? I mean, obviously play D-line and interior, but it looks like you can rush from different positions and stuff and stop the run. But what would you put in your own words? What's your best at?
I feel like my best attribute as a D lineman would probably have to be the motor I play with. I feel like I play with a very high motor. I never take any plays off, and I feel like that consistency just really sets me apart. Also, I feel like I'm a very, very good run stopper. I feel like I can hold a gap, hold a double team very well. And when needed, I feel like I can rush the passer very well. It's just, I feel like that's one thing I am lacking is a consistent pass rush.
And how are you kind of like hoping to develop that over, the course of training camp being with the Saints?
Really just getting with the older guys, just picking their brains and all the coaching staff for the Saints. I mean, it's the best of the best. I mean, I want to learn from the best and just kind of just grab anything I can use to make me a better player.
Tyler, can you talk a little bit about your college career? Started out Houston Baptist and then to Minnesota. How do you end up at Houston Baptist, and what's it like playing college football there?
So I started at Houston Baptist out of high school. I'm from a super small town, so recruiting was pretty tough. I only had Houston as one of my main offers, D1. Went there and really just, I loved it. It's just like I played there for 3 years, and I feel like I developed so much. But just like that final third year, I feel like I just kind of needed something new. So I decided to enter the portal and really just bet on myself. Whenever I was in the portal, I had a ton of offers. But just I feel like Minnesota was home for me, my new home. And I'm very grateful for playing at Minnesota for these past 2 years.
And then playing at Minnesota, obviously we're teammates of Jordan Howden, but have you talked to him already, and just kind of what the feeling's like to be able to kind of reunite with him a little bit?
Yeah, so as soon as I signed, he texted me. He said, "Let's get to work," and I said, "Let's go." Whenever I was at Minnesota, when I first got there, Jordan was actually my mentor, just kind of showing me the rope. So it's kind of pretty cool. It's going full circle now. So I'm very glad for him to be my teammate now. So it's pretty exciting.
Can you explain what that means? They assign you sort of a veteran mentor when you arrive?
Yeah, so just somebody that knows the ropes, kind of just show me like where to go, what to expect, and then while I was in college. But now it's kind of same thing. We're gonna be asking them questions when I get there, how everything is, and it's basically be like just how we was at Minnesota again.
I apologize if this is a repeat. I don't know if I missed a question or not, but what made the Saints attractive to you, and did you have other options that you were choosing between?
Yes, I had a lot of options, but I really let my agent handle that because before the draft, I mean, we already picked the fits that we needed that would fit me the best, and I really just let him handle that. And I mean, when I was picking on what team to choose, Saints popped up, and I feel like it was meant to be, honestly.
What was it about the Saints that got them on that list in the first place in terms of fit?
I like the coaching staff. I like how they play defense. The 4-3 I feel like I fit the best in the 4-3 scheme, and I feel like I'm going to play well for the Saints.
Did Jordan give you any advice? What to expect first year, rookie mini camp, off-season program?
No, he hasn't gave me any advice yet, but I'm sure he will pretty soon. Since everything's so new, just right now I'm just kind of getting my bearings and wrapping my head around that I'm playing for the Saints now. So I feel like he's gonna be reaching out pretty soon.
What would you say right now is kind of the calling card of your play style on the interior?
Just my calling card to be how hard I play. I feel like I play very hard, very physical, and just I feel like a very relentless player in the middle.
And do you see anything in the way that the Saints typically play defense? I mean, we've had guys come in before and kind of talk a little bit about like the aggressive play style of the defense. Do you feel like that suits you well in terms of what that calling card is for you?
Yes, very aggressive, hit you right in the mouth, and that's how I love playing football.